I've never traveled in the space. Can you convert this sentence into passive form? Just try it and write to me in the comment box. We can discuss there. For quite some time now, we have been talking voice, active voice and passive voice, and how to convert an active voice into passive voice and a passive voice into an active voice. Today, we're going to see some deviations, some special cases, and some exceptions. Good evening, everybody. This is session number 41, Basic English Language Material channel. We have a list of sentences that are treated as special cases or say exceptional cases in terms of the use of the voice, either active voice or passive voice. So let's see one after another and explain things as much as we can. Number one, we know that if it is an intransitive verb used in a sentence, it cannot be converted into a passive form, right? See one example. Number 2b, Tom and Jerry quarrelled together. Tom and Jerry quarrelled together. That means both Tom and Jerry are taking part in the quarrel, but quarrel is in fact an intransitive verb. Therefore, you cannot convert this sentence into a passive form. Now we come to this one. This is a transitive verb. They hugged each other. They hugged each other. So hug, this verb is transitive verb. In spite of that, you cannot convert they hugged each other into a passive form of a sentence. Why? You see, interesting thing is that both of them are taking part. So a kind of reciprocal action is there. When I say I hug you, it's, passive format is possible. You are hugged by me. But here the case is very interesting. They hugged each other. So you don't get the object. Both of them can be treated as objects and both of them can be treated as subjects because there is a kind of reciprocal action. So you see, this is an interesting example how a transitive verb that cannot be converted into a passive form. Now come to the next one, no active form. That means passive form is more popular and there is no active format. For example, I was born in Bengal. Born, this is very interesting verb. Beer, born. In this case, born refers to taking birth. In that case, I was born in Bengal. This is passive. I was born. This is passive format. And if you want to make an active sentence, it's very difficult. It is possible the lady gave birth to 2 children. In that case, 2 children were given birth to by the lady. Possible. But if you use born, then it is not possible. Because born, this be a verb, in this case especially, it is more of a stative kind. It refers to the state of being, not state of action. Therefore, keep in your mind, I was born in Bengal. It is in the passive format and its active format is almost impossible. Next one, a baby elephant was trapped in the mud. Who trapped? Nobody trapped. The baby elephant himself got trapped because he misjudged maybe and trapped in the mud, not by somebody. It is possible that the baby elephant was trapped by the hunter, but the case is not that. Here, the baby elephant was trapped in the mud. In that case, you cannot make it a passive form. Next one, passive forms more popular. That means there are certain forms, they are passive, and active forms are possible. But the passive forms are more popular. It is said all that glitters is not gold. That means everybody says People say, they say that all that glitters is not gold. So this is a popular saying. This is a proverb. In that case, it is better to say, it is said, all that glitters is not gold, than they say that all that glitters is not gold. Both the sentences are correct. But normally in standard English, this one is used. It is said. Now, Roy is elected president of the club. Who made Roy president? Maybe members of the club. So members made Roy president of the club. This is active. But here, Roy is elected president of the club is passive form. And maybe there were so many contestants and Roy somehow managed to get that post. So if you want to focus that part, the contribution or the achievement of Roy, this passive form is more popular than the active form. Next one. Passive with going to. Very interesting feature. Going to. This going to refers to some immediate future action. And whenever you have this going to, it is followed by the main verb in the sentence. What is that? We are going to shift a machine. We are going to shift a machine. So when I turn it into a passive format, going to remains the same, unchanged. But shift is the main verb, so must remember that if there is any change in the passive form, it will be the verb shift, not going to. So what will be the passive format? A machine is going to be shifted. Going to is there, but going to be shifted in the passive form. We are going to shift a machine in the active form, and in the passive, a machine is going to be shifted by us. So remember, going to, take care of using going to in the passive format. Never try to change going to and don't make it gone to. Never. Keep it as it is. Now, passive with said to. It is something like it is said. The almost same here. A chimpanzee is said to live longer than a man. A chimpanzee is said to live. This is passive format. In active format, what will happen? A chimpanzee lives longer than a man is the active format. In the passive, it becomes a chimpanzee is said to live longer than a man. This bird is said to have come from Australia. Almost the same. This bird is said to have come. That means it is said that this bird has come from Australia. So you see how a chimpanzee is said to live, or here the bird is said to have come, becomes in the passive format, although active format is possible. But normally people prefer this type of sentence in standard English. This is quite okay, fine. Passive with to, not by. Sometimes in the passive format we use to instead of by. Take care. It is known to me. It is known to me. Never it is known by me. Almost all grammarians prefer known to me. But why not by? Because known, this is again a stative verb. It reflects a state of being, not state of action. In that case, it is known to me is better than known by me, but process of action is not clear here. And again, this known works more as an adjective rather than the past participle form of no verb. It is clear to me. So it is known to me. It only you can equate these two sentences. Then Ria was married to Raj. Again, married to Raj, not by Raj. If you give by, then it becomes a little bit cumbrous because marriage is a reciprocal relationship. When I say Ria was married to Raj or Raj was married to Ria, it does not matter much so far as meaning is concerned. But if you give by, then it becomes a one-man affair. Marriage is not a one-man affair. Therefore, it is married to married. This is again, it prefers appropriate preposition to, and it disowns the common logic of making, a passive form with the word by. Next one. Passive with have or had. If you try to add have or even get in a sentence and then use the verb, normally it becomes passive format. For example, I have my food cooked daily by someone. I have my food cooked daily by my friend. Or I get my food cooked daily by my friend. So active form is possible. My friend gets my food cooked daily. In the second sentence, that cooked is purely adjective. And here I have get my food cooked, this part is passive format. Again, my mother had the poem read out by me, by my father. My mother had the poem read out. That somebody else read out that poem for my mother. So you see how have, get, and here had, these words actually requires reconstruction of the sentence in terms of passive format. Now we come to the last one, that is passive with let. Whenever you use that particular word let, imperative sentence especially, in that case, whether it is active form or it is passive form, does not matter much. Always it comes in the beginning of a sentence. Let the chocolate be kept in the refrigerator. Let the chocolate be kept in the refrigerator. So what is the active format? Let him keep the chocolate in the refrigerator. And here, let him get lost in the wood. Let him get lost, passive format. So you cannot make active format of this particular sentence. Almost impossible. Now sometimes you would come across that there are many sentences in the passive format where by is not used. Sometimes it is at, sometimes it is with, sometimes it is to. You see, all these verbs are more or less stative verb. And alarmed, I am alarmed at, annoyed at, surprised at. In all these cases, it has more adjectival value than the value of a verb. That's why that particular preposition by that is used in passive voice is not insisted upon. So pleased with, impressed with, disgusted with, then known to, obliged to, and married to. These are possible. So take care. You will frequently come across these sentences also. They deviate from the normal procedure or normal rules of grammar in terms of passive or active voices. So just make a note of these sentences. And I have another thing to say. We observe that almost 70% of our viewers are not our subscribers. Only 30% of our viewers are subscribers. Those who have not yet subscribed, they are viewing our channel. They are doing a great job. But I would request them to please subscribe the channel so that we get incentive. And please share our channel with your friends, and please comment so that we get further inspiration. So this much today, and I think this particular topic will interest you. So hope to see you again. Have a nice time.